Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stock Market Today. It's Alissa, Coram, and Shreve here with a look at the market for Thursday, March 16th, where we saw stocks have a strong day on the heels of a bank bailout headline there, Ken. So seeing strength return to the market, at least for the moment.
At least for the moment, yeah, the market was a little jittery, and then our friends over at the Wall Street Journal reported that a large group of banks, led by J.P. Morgan, are going to deposit basically $30 billion into First Republic. So that fueled positive sentiment, and I got to tell you, stock indexes held gains throughout the day. So good session for the stock market. Got three tech stocks to talk about today. First one will be Mobileye, MBLY. We have a lot of model books of top performing new issues, and this one still has the look of a possible model book stock. HubSpot in the enterprise software group, HUBS, and another stock in the enterprise software group, Workday, WDAY.
Great. Three compelling charts there that we'll have you break down. But first, let's take a look at those major indexes. The Nasdaq today up 2.5% by session's close, followed by the S&P 500 up 1.8%, the Dow up 1.2%, and small caps heading into the close up about 1.3, 1.4% each. And we are on day 4 of a rally attempt here, Ken, for the Nasdaq, getting above some pretty clear technical hurdles today, all of these converging moving averages, a declining tops trend line as well. Some recent highs, but not the high from the 6th of March quite yet. But it does look like, at least for the time being, it seems like things aren't falling apart like it looked like they were last week.
Yeah, that's right. We still need the market to prove itself more here. I mean, this is a pretty clean trend line that you can draw on the Nasdaq chart here. But you can see volume was really tracking light all day. I mean, if we had got higher volume with conviction, might have been that signal that we're looking for, that sign of strength. But you can see volume looks like it's going to come in below what we saw Wednesday. So lots of good action in individual stocks. But I think we're still in this position. We still want to see the market prove itself more. We know that action can be very whipsaw, good 1 minute, bad the next. A lot of volatility out there in terms of interest rates going up and down, and just all sorts of uncertainty. So we want to see the market prove itself more, but we'll hang our hat on a pretty good session today.
That we will. Let's also take a look at the S&P 500, which I think underscores here the strength that we are seeing in technology, not only with the Nasdaq Composite, but especially the Nasdaq 100 stocks looking even stronger. So here's the S&P, still a strong percentage gain today, but it's not yet above the 50-day line. We've got that 4,000 level. Looks like it's pretty close to the 21-day line. We can see where it ended the session, just almost right there, a little shy of the 21-day line as well. So still some work to do here for the S&P, even with today's solid price gain.
Definitely, and lower volume here too. So a sizable percentage gain for the S&P 500, but this honestly still looks like an index that is in some technical trouble here. So it may only be a matter of time before it races through the 4,000 level and plows through the 50-day moving average. But that's still a hurdle that the S&P 500 still has to face. You can see, what was it, 5 or 6 days ago when the Nasdaq kind of just plunged right below that 50-day moving average, and so we'll see if it can get back above it. Again, a good percentage gain today, but again, you look back over the past 4 trading days and you see some above average declines here. A lower volume gain a couple days ago, and then another lower volume gain today. So this price and volume interaction here on the S&P 500 isn't exactly what we want to see, but good day for the S&P 500, able to get back above its 200-day moving average, but still watching that 4,000 as a possible resistance, which is basically right where the 50-day moving average is.
Yes. Let's also take a look at the Dow, which is looking even weaker. still below its 200-day line and all of its other moving averages, as well as it seeks to find a bottom. And especially hard hit, looking even weaker, have been the small caps. Here's the Russell 2000 ETF IWM, up about 1.4% today. Still a little bit of ways to go till it can even get back to its 200-day line. And a lot of exposure here, of course, to financials. So it's been taking, the brunt of the beating lately. It's trying to get back on its feet, but still a lot of work to do. We can also take a look at QQQ, Ken, because as mentioned, this is really where the strength is, starting with the action on the 13th of March. Coming off of its lows, reversing higher for the day, and able to shake off intraday weakness the last couple of days to finish higher and accelerating that strength today.
Yeah, so what's interesting here is the QQQ, obviously an ETF, and you did have higher volume. In fact, you had higher volume yesterday when it rallied and higher volume again today. You can see volume about 60% above average. So pretty compelling chart here for the Qs. Obviously, the large cap techs have been a beneficiary of this plunge on interest rates, even though the 10-year yield did reverse higher today. The 10-year yield traded all the way down to below 3.4%. I saw recently trading around 3.57. So here again, rising interest rates, not a problem for the market, not a problem for large cap technology stocks because they've come down so far. But pretty encouraging action for the Qs here. I said on IBD Live this morning that I'm optimistic about maybe a tradable rally here. Whether or not we're at the start of a new bull market, that's still a very big question mark. But again, the action in individual stocks still looking pretty good here. And but again, we just need to see a little more volume, a little more conviction behind the buying here before we can feel good about a meaningful tradable rally or a sustained uptrend.
Right. Well, relative strength in spades here for QQQ, so we'll keep a close watch there. Let's also take a look at SMH because a big day of outperformance for the chip sector with SMH up 4%, clearing an aggressive trend line, also getting close to a more moderate trend line as well, getting above the 250 level as it bounces off of its moving averages. So clear strength in chip stocks today.
Absolutely. This looks like a breakout for SMH. So, and there was some volume here too, came in quite a bit higher than the prior session. So the ETFs that we follow seeing some good volume today. And, the chip stocks have been a pocket of strength for quite some time. NVIDIA that we have on leaderboard made a really nice move today, but that really is kind of getting into nosebleed territory here. Probably a little bit extended, getting near an area where it may start to pull back here. But quite a day for NVIDIA, which also rose in higher volume.
Yeah, really was quite a day there. Let's take a look at another chip stock, and that is Mobileye, MBLY. A strong day for this relatively new issue, up 5.7%. Arguably an aggressive entry here, even though it looks like it still needs more time to form an official base. I'm just going to change my price scale there, so it's a little easier to see. Yes, but an outside week to the upside taking shape with a rebound off of the 10-week line. So perhaps some aggressive traders getting involved today, if not on this reversal off of the 50-day line earlier in the week.
Yeah, this is the leader in self-driving systems and advanced driver assistance systems, spun off from Intel as an IPO late last year. And again, I talked about the fact that this has the look of a model book stock. We look back at all the successful IPOs and how they perform after their first day of trading. And, you had a nice breakout over the 37 level here, ran up to 46. And look at on the daily chart, the pullback has been in very light volume. I mean, this is a volatile stock, and it can trade in volatile price swings, but that pullback off that high of 46.11 has pretty much come in very, very light volume. Now, the problem with today, even though you had pretty good technical action in Mobileye, the volume was lower than what we saw yesterday. So this was the issue with the market today. We saw a lot of individual stocks moving in pretty light volume. However, the weekly chart here, it's just another base taking shape here. So some people may have nibbled, as the stock finds the support at the 10-week moving average. For me, I would rather just wait and see a full base form here, maybe 6 weeks old, 7 weeks old, 7 weeks long, something like that. So a good one for the watch list, and the technicals are good here, and the fundamentals are also very compelling. You can see the great revenue growth in recent quarters, nice acceleration in earnings when they reported fourth quarter results, earnings up 125%. You have a pretty solid estimate for next year as well. So good stock here, good one for the watch list, and again has the look of a possible leader here.
It does. Let's also check out HubSpot, HUBS, reversing higher this week after touching its own 10-week line, up almost 8% so far for the week, getting right to a round number and a previous buy point.
Yeah, this is another stock, highest possible composite rating of 99. That's because of big annual earnings estimates and a really solid track record of quarterly earnings and sales growth. So this was we have this on the leaderboard watch list. It's another stock that's showing pretty good technicals in this market. We haven't added it yet, but we're still watching it here. If we go back to the daily chart, you can see it still has some little bit of supply to work through here. I mean, we could almost look at that 418 pivot as a new entry, but it is trying to reclaim that 399.65 entry. So this one is right there, and again, just waiting for some volume to come in here. This is a stock that it has been under accumulation. If we go back to the weekly chart, when it really started to move off lows, look at all those big blue volume bars there. Yeah, so that's a stock under some accumulation, probably some funds getting in there and buying, and then the decline has been in light volume. So this one has pretty good potential as well, not only because of strong technicals, because of good fundamentals as well.
And this stock in the enterprise software space, as is Workday, slightly different group here, but same theme. A strong week taking shape for Workday, up 7.5% through Thursday. Going over to the daily chart, kind of reminds me a little bit of what we're seeing for HubSpot as well. A reversal a couple of days ago and reclaiming a buy point, getting close to perhaps an alternate, a slightly higher entry here as well, and some above average volume today coming in.
Yeah, bullish move today, and again, I don't. I'm sure that some traders may have nibbled due to the excellent relative strength here. So it's up, what is that, 4 days in a row? The chart's a little small for me, but up 4 days in a row. So maybe it'll pause as it gets close to that recent high, just over 193. But another enterprise software stock. This is where really some of the most compelling growth stories in technology are. Yes, you do see some high multiple stocks here, including Workday selling at 51 times trailing earnings, but these stocks are given a premium valuation just because they've got a pretty good track record of bottom line and top line growth, and Workday is in that group as well. So very encouraged by the action we're seeing in a lot of software stocks. So HubSpot, Workday, things looking pretty good.
Yeah. So as we wrap, Ken, I think there are still a lot of questions out there. The jury's still out with where the market direction is truly headed. But what we can do as traders is take things just one day at a time. And it's a tricky balance of making sure we're keeping a level head and staying patient, but also not ignoring signs of strength either. And it seems like at the end of the day, risk management is paramount, especially when you've got volatility like what we're seeing right now, and uncertainty. I mean, we've got the Fed next week.
Fed meeting next week.
Yeah, Fed meeting next week, and interest rate hike expectations have been in flux.
Well, next week is going to be volatile as well, because this the CME FedWatch tool, which shows what are the chances that the Fed is going to stay put. Are they going to hike by a quarter? That's been so volatile, and so the market is still wondering what the Fed is going to have to say. There's some thinking that they will hold tight and not raise rates at all, but there's I think the odds at last check, the market was still favoring a quarter point hike in next week, and then we skip a month in May. The Fed could pause, but market is still pretty sure that we could get a rate cut by the June meeting. So that could be a good thing for the market as well. But these financial stocks, still likely see a lot of volatility here. But the other thing I will note today about the Nasdaq's percentage gain today, it was a little curious to see advancing stocks outnumbering decliners by less than 2 to 1. I mean, you would think that breadth would have been better than 2 to 1, 3 to 1, maybe even 4 to 1 positive, but not even quite 2 to 1 on the Nasdaq. So that was just again market internals, a little bit of a question mark there, but it was a solid percentage gain. And like you said, Ali, we'll just see what tomorrow brings and see what the open looks like. We're still in the early stages of a rally attempt here, and maybe we'll see a confirmed uptrend in the not too distant future.
All right. Thank you so much, Ken. And more insights headed your way tomorrow, starting with IBD Live in the morning, where we will be joined by O'Neill Global Advisors Portfolio Manager Charles Harris. Interested to see what he thinks about current market conditions and how he's handling his portfolio. We also are going to be on Barron's Live at noon Eastern on Friday, barrons.com/live, for all the details on a discussion that Justin and I are going to have about the current banking crisis and how traders can utilize technical analysis to their advantage in these tumultuous times. So we'll see you there tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Until tomorrow.